everybody. So, see that chimney there? And that piece of fountain there. We're doing a little bit of cleanup around the property, and those items were there in the back. So these two items, I didn't want them to throw away because, you know, it's hard for me to let go of junky stuff. But this little area back here I want to set up as my little Zen seating area. So of course I want to keep the old chimney. I'm going to clean that up. This fountain, I'll put the top there back on the base. And it doesn't work or anything, but I think I'm going to use it as a planter. Plant some plants in it. I may spray paint it, I don't know. But anyway, this area over here, I want to use some of the extra pavers that we have to pave kind of this area here. I want to put down some landscape fabric and put those pavers and put the chimney there, and then kind of set a chair next to it, and that way, and then that hopefully will be cleaned up also pretty soon. That way I can sit here with my chimney, even though it's too hot right now for a fire, and a glass of wine under this tree, Woody's tree, in the shade, and just enjoy my garden. We still have to cut the top off of this old windmill. I want to train my star jasmine that's planted in the ground over there. That star jasmine, I want to start training up this, but we have to get the old broken head off of here, and then I want to give this a quick spray paint with some black paint just to freshen it up. All this is gonna get cleaned up, and I'll have a little seating area back here, and I think it's gonna look really pretty. So hopefully we can get all that done today. With this area today, but we have the chimney going. Dogs are hanging out. I still have to trim the fabric around my little seating area. Looks pretty good. And this way. And my little seating area with my chimney and my puppies and my potted plants. Looks good. And my husband. Alright. Alright, I can work with this. Alright, I'm gonna tweak it just a little bit more before I call it done. So I'm gonna have some wine with my husband, and I'm gonna work on this some more tomorrow. Bye. Okay. So it's been about a week since I started this little project back here for a little private seating area for myself to have my wine, sit by the fire. Air conditioner's running, so it's going to be a little loud. But this is the area. I can sit and look at all my beautiful plants and my giant elephant ears. We set up the fountain Fountain doesn't work. I want to plant some plants in it. For now, I have a fern sitting on the top, and that is breeding mosquitoes, so I need to dump that out so I can get some dirt in there. It's still junky back here, but this is where I put my shelving for my plants and my pots, and I'm going to take some cuttings later on, and I need to fill these with potting mix and put all my cuttings, and that way they can stay outside. It's warm, but here they're shaded till they get rooted, and then I can plant, because a lot of the cuttings I take is just so I can replant it out in the garden, make my own plants, stay out of the garden center. Our hedge of podocarpus is doing wonderful. We planted this, I think, end of March or early April. No, I think end of March, yeah. And we've got lots of new growth. It's doing really well. Earlier, maybe 3 weeks ago, it made these odd little fruits that look just like olives, like black olives. I'd never seen that before, because, it's my first year to have podocarpus. We've got some along the very back fence line, and then we have a hedge here to try to cover up, and I do have to get my clippers out. And this is a wild blackberry, a dewberry, very stickery, very, very stickery. But I need to get my clippers and clip all of these vines and all of that stuff. I wonder if this is poison ivy. I don't know, but it needs to go. The house next door is a foreclosure. They are working on it. I don't know if I'm holding the camera up high enough, but it's just atrocious with weeds and whatnot, and it's just coming through. It's starting to invade my space. So I'll be taking my hedge clippers and clipping all this. We're about to get a thunderstorm. I'm so excited. This is the remnant bands from Hurricane Hannah. That wind feels amazing. So Hurricane Hannah made landfall yesterday, and I thought we were going to get a lot of rain to help water the plants. We did not. We got 2 little showers that came through, and that was it. But today, a couple of the bands are reaching us again, which is nice. That way I don't have to water. So the bench over here is just holding stuff. The pot that never, the window basket that never got hung under a window. And then just this is like a wildflower seed mix. But this tall ferny thing gets some really pretty flowers on it. That's nice. And the old windmill. I did do a little spray painting on it. I really didn't get good coverage, but it looks nice. The old broken head has been taken off and taken to the dump. And I have my passion vine here, and look, you can see the caterpillar of the Gulf fritillary butterfly. This is a host plant to the Gulf fritillary. A little spiky dude there. The wind. Hold on, little guy. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to film you. There you are. You're holding. Anyway, this is the caterpillar of the Gulf fritillary. And the passion vine is their host plant. I did have some flower. Oh, here we go. We have some buds here. So hopefully in a couple weeks, if this little spiky dude doesn't devour it, we will have some passion flowers, because I haven't had any yet this year. So, but this vine has been heavily munched. On the back side is a star jasmine. So I really had to hurry and get this obelisk kind of set in place, and this crawling up it, because it was starting to grow through. It was growing through all the cracks in the fence, because it's getting really long and spindly. But it was really easy to train this up here. I mean, this has only been up maybe 3 days, and it's already holding on pretty good. And these twisty corkscrew things, they're supposed to go at the base to hold this down so it doesn't blow away. And I haven't done that yet. I tried, and it was not easy, so I need to get my husband to help me. And hopefully, see it rock. Hopefully this doesn't blow over if we get a good gust of wind. Fingers crossed. But I love the way that looks. I kind of want to go to, oh, it's not Garden Ridge, At Home, and look for maybe something fun in their garden art section to put on top of here. Like a big pineapple, or, you know, a big, I don't know, solar butterfly. It needs a topper. It needs something. So I'll be looking for that. Ruby slippers, hydrangea, oak leaf hydrangea is doing great. I had a big piece break off because when I had my shelving unit over here, one of the iron hanging baskets fell off of the shelving unit and just chopped a branch off here. And so new growth is coming back, thank goodness, pretty quickly. And then one of the pieces that it broke off, I have it in my office rooting. So maybe I'll have 2 ruby slivers shortly. And we do need to mow back here an edge. We just haven't brought the mower and edger back here in a while. Then one of the baskets I made earlier this year with the licorice plant and this euphorbia. And then there's a little salvia in here. This is still doing great. My philodendron Xanadu doing wonderful. That's by me. My foxglove that I got on clearance. And then this is the main stalk that was flowering when I bought the plant. Remember, I divided it into 3 pieces. 2 went in the border around the man cave, and this one went in the pot. And I've cut off the main stalk because it was spent. See there? And it's hollow. I didn't realize it was hollow, or I wouldn't have cut so deep because I know water's going to get in there. But I have this new flower spike here, and then another one there. Ooh, listen to that thunder. Mama loves a good thunderstorm. This is going to be nice. And so hopefully I get some more flower spikes. But I tell you what, the $5 I paid for this, it has paid for itself 3 or 4 times over with the amount of plants I got out of it and the amount of flower spikes that's coming on. And this is a pomegranate. This one I had in the front yard, and my husband kept whacking it with the weed whacker, so I dug it up, put it in this pot, and I thought for sure it was dead. It got crispier than crispy, and some of the branches did actually die. But a few weeks, maybe a month, yeah, I think about a month after I put it in this pot, I started seeing new growth. And now look at it, because I think I dug it up back in April and maybe beginning of May, but it's doing great. So I need to cut all the dead off. And it's nice to have this chair right here, because I can sit in my chair, I can turn it, and I can sit here with my scissors and my clippers, and I can tend to my plants. Like I need to pull all this stuff out, and then I'll get my copper fungicide and spray all this, because something really is going on with these foxgloves. It's just the lower leaves get grody and rot, and then I get, and it could be rust. I mean, this looks like rust. I don't know, but I need to sit here when it's not about to storm with my scissors and my wine and just do some clipping and some weeding. Like I have another Mexican petunia coming up. I knew I didn't get all of them out of this pot. But anyway, here's my loungy chair. And I love this because it has wide arms. If I didn't have this side table here, I could still set my drink right there. Love that. And then I have here some forget-me-nots that are drowning in a pot with no holes. But I heard they kind of like it swampy, so I'm just going to let them see how they do in there. So that's forget-me-nots. This is some kalanchoe that I have in hypertufa pots that a friend gave to me. And they are probably my most favorite pots on the property because they're unusual, they're concrete. This big one back here was formed out of a large sandwich bag, Ziploc bag, and you can kind of see the folds of the bag. And I just think it's so interesting. And the kalanchoe loves it in here. This Kalanchoe's been in these pots about 2 years now, and they do okay. Look there. Beautiful. And then our old chimenea. We have had this chimenea, gosh, probably 6 years, 7 years. And you can tell it looks a little rusty. It looks a little, you know, it was at the back of the property in the weather. Look, it looks janky, I'm not gonna lie. Well, my camera cut off. I don't even know what happened. Okay, so there's my chimenea. Love it. It's full of wood. It's ready to go. If the wood doesn't get soaked during the storm, it'll be ready when I'm ready to use it. So, oh, and then the bricks. We had these pavers off of our front porch before we poured our concrete pad and sidewalk. And we did have them stacked up at the back of the property. And I'm like, hey, I could use them to pave myself a little seating area. And there's landscape fabric underneath them to keep weeds and stuff from growing. I mean, I know once dirt gets in the cracks, weeds are going to come anyway. But it works for right now. And because these pavers are pretty cheap, they're like $1.25 a piece, I may work to pave in most of this area. That way we don't have to come back here and mow. Just kind of pave it in, maybe do a little border around this tree, because I do want to surround this tree with like hostas and interesting ferns, and then just have the rest of this paved in with pavers. I think would be really nice. Really nice. Anyway, this is my little area. It's not fancy. It's not perfect. And basically it was built using stuff we already had. Didn't buy anything new. Stuff we had around the property. My son has his man cave. I have my little woman area right here. And I can look at my beautiful, beautiful plants and sit in the shade, because I am in the shade almost all day right here. So I can have a fire at night. Anyway, I love it. See y'all later.